too.
My name is Viviana Checchia. I'm currently a PhD student at Loughborough University, and I'm one of the co-curators of Vessel. Vessel is a non-for-profit space in Bari. We are actually working in all the region in Puglia. That is the place where I'm coming from. I'm not living here since 10 years ago, but we choose to come back together with Anna Santomauro, the other curator of the project, because we thought that we wanted to use the extremely important resources that we could get living outside this area and to kind of re-import, like to bring it back, and to try also to explore the incredible potentiality that this area has got and to see if maybe the outcome could be different of any other place. Of course, we know the obstacle and we know that this is difficult. And these difficulties are actually the core of the project. The difficulties are almost related to institutions in this region. When we started the project last April 2012, basically we found a region that was full of different sorts of projects and associations, cultural associations, mainly led by young people like us. And all we were kind of complaining about the conservative way in which the region, in fact, is acting till years and years ago. And the fact that seems that right now the dynamic is a little bit different and seems that it's pushing towards a younger generation. So because of that, we started to think that instead of kind of repeating over and over again this stupid criticality, this stupid gossip, because this is all people are talking about, mainly negative things that are gossips. We wanted really to explore the limits of these institutions, but in a more I don't know how to say, like, responsible way. We wanted to have some more tools and we wanted to understand more about them and maybe also to understand the incredible help or the incredible work that they are doing for this area anyway. So the idea of Giant Steps started because of this. The idea was to create like a team of researchers all over the world and into the region within Puglia and to create like dossiers of research about different institutions. How are they working? If there are like good practice or bad practice, or if there are methods that we can maybe use in this context that are coming from, I don't know, Germany or Turkey, which doesn't really imply that the western part of the world has got the best development for art. Maybe the best development is everywhere else in another part of the world, and we want to really kind of create a discussion about this. So this was actually the idea, the starting point, and we decided that we couldn't do this alone because we are a really small organization, and also because in reality this is just like one partial point of view, like one angle. So we decided that we wanted to create a bigger network connected with different institutions. So one of the institutions that is taking part of the project is Manhabe Museum. Another one is Mostin in Wales and Galleria Labyrinth in Lublin. All these institutions have got different problems, different strategies, different potentiality. And we wanted to understand how we could help each other, maybe to create a sort of utopia, like also an ideal of a museum for the future, for an institution that maybe can be different, not necessarily better, but more up-to-date, contemporary.
So you then still believe in the idea of an institution, a museum? You still think that's possible in, for example, Bari, which has got significant issues in relation to local politics and has come a long way in the last 6 to 7 years, but still, as you say, that's why Giant Step formed, because you want to then influence and change make more in the region. You still believe in the idea of a museum and institution that will operate here?
Yeah, we believe that actually like the institution is something important in this mechanism. We don't want to refuse the institution, and we are not creating an antagonist position just because we are non-for-profit or just because we think that the institution is absolutely bad. What we are kind of discussing is what is exactly the museum right now? What is the society like requesting to the museum? If the museum is still so connected with the collection, for example, or if the museum has to kind of stick more with a social sort of aim, a mission that can be different. So it's more like a reshaping of the institution. It's not a refusal of the institution. We actually think that the institution is something that can help the territory. In this case, it can help it a lot. And we discovered that even about ourselves, even if we are really small, super flexible, the people are looking at us as an institution already. So we are not really refusing this idea at all, I think.
What do you think a cultural institution, museum type space, there aren't that many that are on a large scale in Bari or in Puglia. What do you think that could bring to the local communities here?
First of all, I think that the institution could bring like a sort of broader connection with the international network, which is really important. This area is totally disconnected and marginal. Then it could be also like a source for knowledge, because this is another problem. Like the academies here and the university are not that powerful, and they are not that strong in their methodology, in also like in their tools. So the artists in the region are in extremely need for knowledge, also in this sense, which is also practical, like maybe new techniques or like new way of conceiving like a work of art, but also is about how to interact with the system of art, because sometimes for them it's absolutely scary. They are not really understanding which sort of dynamics, the interior dynamics of the system, and an institution could help in this.
And finally, you've brought together, as you say, the partners from throughout Europe together, and you've also brought together some young curators from actually all over the world to discuss some of these issues. What will you do with these findings after these days together working in Bari to look for methodologies and tools and proposals? What will you do with this information?
Okay, first of all, in general, we are using like our platform, which is our website, and updating everything that is the outcome of the research. Then we will carry on with the project till December at least. We want to create these dossiers, as I said before, so it will be partially research, like local research, and that plus this research that is the result of the symposium. After this, we are wondering if we just want to finalize the whole project just with a publication, or if we want to carry on with that, because we are kind of discovering that there are so many people that want to rediscuss the institution. It's like a sort of emergency at the moment. So it's an urgency, it's a really important moment within the institution, out of the institution, about the institution. So we hope that December is not the end of the project. We're actually thinking about how we can expand, how we can go farther. And all the material that we are collecting through the symposium is going to be part of this publication, and also we hope a source to share like while with everybody, with other practitioners, maybe to open up other focus, because we can discover that South America is even like more interesting for something, or that maybe we want to move in the Middle East. So we are trying to understand what is also from our perspective missing, because sometimes we cannot be aware about everything that's going on. So we are trying to reconnect also with other institutional experience. So this is our aim right now.
And that's on a global basis. But coming back to the Bari context, how will do you have any plans to distribute those findings, let's say, to the local authorities?
Yeah, we are thinking about a presentation here in Bari, in Puglia. Probably it will be through the academies or some other institutions. And then also we are thinking about creating again other reading groups that will be about the outcome of the symposium. But it will be quite difficult also because we will have to translate most of the material. The language here is a big obstacle for sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.